It's Helena.
Hey guys, I've just landed in Toronto, and what better way to kick off my journey than at TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival.
The world comes to Toronto, literally, for this 10 days, and of course the city just becomes so alive. The festival was started with the idea that this was going to be a festival for the public. All the spine of this festival, the number of filmmakers who say this is the best audience in the world. And over the years, it's become a bellwether for the Oscars.
It's so much fun.
I think the festival is a reflection, I guess, of the maturing of the Canadian identity. It's such a diverse city, as you've seen, and I think that Canada is now a beacon for all kinds of people.
I want to be in movies. When I travel, I love to connect with other makers and designers to find out what inspires them to create. So come join me on this cross-Canada trip, because that's exactly what I'm about to do. To get a better understanding of Canadian fashion, I'm here at Roots to find out what makes it such an iconic brand. Sid is more than just head of design for Roots. He lives and breathes this brand.
We were the forerunners in dressing the athletes in the opening ceremonies.
So Roots has been at the core of a lot of kind of moments.
We've run the gamut from the 70s, Elton John, David Bowie, to today, where we're dressing The Weeknd, Drake, etc. When she did a concert in Toronto, we made Katy Perry an awards jacket.
How small is Katy Perry?
Apparently it actually fit her.
Do you mind if I try this on?
Go for it.
Look at this. Wow.
A lot of our inspiration comes from the environment. The two co-founders met at Camp Tamaqua in Algonquin Park. Algonquin Park is a very rustic, laid-back place. It's really, if you want to get off the grid, and I think it's been their refuge. And they spend and have spent most of their summers there since 1973. Come on into the leather factory. Whoa. It's not a conveyor belt. This team takes great pride in creating a single item. You know, pretty much everybody in Canada is an immigrant. The flags signify that. Dawn and Michael, interestingly enough, are Americans. So they always had a self-confidence. They kind of almost taught Canada how to be proud of a heritage. You know, that's their legacy.
Yeah.
That the company always has a culture of welcoming, acceptance. We embrace different cultures, immigrants. It's very much a Canadian attitude. And they always ask people, where are you from? What are your roots?
Sean.
Nigel.
Thanks for meeting with me. Thank you so much. Sean Brown is a man of many talents. He's a designer, creative director. He has a brand called Needs&Wants, so he's kind of boundless with his creativity.
So this is a spot I frequent when I want to experiment with a new sample.
You would just come here and
give them a hard time.
It's literally like Aladdin's cave.
Now we're in the financial district.
Where they film Suits.
How'd you know?
I kind of recognize it.
That's crazy that you recognize that.
The juxtaposition of architecture in the city is really...
Yeah, that's kind of like my whole approach to design too. It's old meets new and like, you know?
So we are at...
This is Cloud Garden. Literally no one is here. It's a sick.
Really good little sanctuary.
You almost forget you're like at the center of downtown. I've always seen and had nature around me, so it's just something I want to like place my work around.
That need to be around nature,
yeah,
I think is really important to Canadians, and it's almost contagious.
Yeah,
that desire.
Is the sun not out super often in London?
Well, it is.
I didn't want to ask you that, no. But
next stop, Montreal. I'm in Montreal to check out its homegrown talent, and my first stop is Naked and Famous. So tell me about the Montreal garment trade history.
Well, they call it the shmata business. In Yiddish, shmata means rags. My grandfather came here after World War II. You know, he started a business from nothing. I'm trying to keep the soul of this old school shmata business alive, but then we turn it into a global and a luxury brand. Some brands take themselves very seriously, but we love doing fun and innovative stuff. You know, we've made scratch and sniff jeans. We have produced the jeans using the heaviest denim in the world. It's like wearing 3 pairs of jeans at the same time, guaranteed uncomfortable or your money back. And I have some over in the annex if you'd like to follow me. Would you like to see the magic trick?
Please.
All right.
No way!
Yes way.
Oh my God. I want to be here forever now.
We have a retail store downstairs. We have the full collection of our own brand. We have reflective jeans, we have glow-in-the-dark jeans, the Okayama Spirit denim, Kevlar blend jeans, we got wine-dyed, the pull-up leather, the brushed selvage denim, pull-up wax leather. This is a Dobby denim, unsanfrized slubby jean, 22-ounce beastly denim, cashmere denim, and those are dyed in real green tea. We have quite a range. This is a beat-up pair.
Oh, this is a 30.
This is a beat-up pair of the 32-ounce that was worn for like 2 years. That is a mapled leaf. Eat it with your pancakes.
Forget about making jeans. Brandon's job is to blow minds. Continuing on my journey, I'm about to visit Lowell, Montreal, a husband and wife team who make amazing leather bags and clothing.
Lowell is inspired for the Lowell, Massachusetts, the city. A lot of families from Montreal moved all over the East Coast to go work in factories. In Lowell, there was a French district, Jacques Kerouac. His whole family was brought up French-speaking.
Like my grandmother?
Exactly. So both of our great-grandmother were born in Lowell, actually.
I think I recognize some of the names here through the streets.
We wanted to make a classical briefcase inspired from like a little bit from
the school bag.
So McGill was easy. There's the McGill University. In McGill, the street is right downtown where there's a lot of offices. And so McGill came naturally.
Like Fairmount.
We wanted a backpack that you could use as a briefcase to go to work. Like that district was where it was happening. People riding bike to their job. Creativity in Montreal comes from the fact also that we're not a rich city. I think people are really creative with not a lot. We don't want to be luxury.
But still elegant.
And that's exactly how I think Montreal is.
I'm really enjoying the relationship they have between the city they live in and the things that they make. They work so well together. Okay, folks, I'm headed west. Look out, Vancouver. I've just arrived in Vancouver's Gastown to visit the headquarters of Herschel. Herschel Supply Company was founded by brothers Jamie and Lyndon Cormack, and Michelle has worked with them pretty much since the beginning. Where is the name Herschel actually from?
It's a town called Herschel. Jamie and Lyndon used to go there every summer. Across our entire line, we have inside liners that are red and white striped. Basically, it comes from all of the overalls that they wore in Herschel
that
at the mill.
railroad stripe.
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
Nice.
Backpacks were just only back to school. That was it. Herschel, I believe, really changed that way of thinking. We're Pacific Northwest, we know the rain, and so we started off with rainwear, having 4 seasons, and then just starting to play with fabrications, and you know, it's a very different feel in Vancouver. This world that you're in right now, it's called Gastown. Gastown is gorgeous, and the cobblestone is beautiful. Awesome restaurants. It also has a huge steam clock. Something has to be said for loving this city and the happiness that it brings. We have 3 ski mountains, so you can literally go right after work and go skiing if you'd like to. People in Vancouver want to get out in the mountains, get out in the ocean, just get outside. So we definitely have a different view on life.
Now I'm heading to the south of Vancouver, traveling down towards the beaches to visit Dorothy Grant, a Haida artist and designer. She's graciously invited me into her home. Dorothy is one of the most famous First Nations fashion designers. She's dressed actors for the Oscars and has museums vying for her work.
Fashion design is such a mystery for a lot of people and how it starts, but my inspiration really comes from how the traditional Haida art form can work on the body. I think that's the essence of what I do. Work with the art and place it on a fabric and have it flow, and it's not too much. Haidas are coastal people. I'm privileged to wake up in this beautiful area. It's what keeps me balanced and keeps me motivated. Dwayne approached me. He said, if I get invited to the Oscars, would you dress me? I said, absolutely, I will. Him just being there represented a lot of Native Canadians, Native Americans, that he made it. He made it. What I could say that I'm proud of doing is educating people. It's really about appreciation, understanding about an ancient art form.
This trip has met and exceeded my expectations. Now, there's no I can take all these feelings I have and push them through the screen. I just can't. But what I can do is suggest that you find something that you're passionate with over here and take the next flight over. But if you don't, that's fine. More Canada for me. To see more from my trip, click here. Am I in the way of the view? Oh, okay, sorry.